Hello everyone, I'm back on another Facebook Live. I'm doing it early in the morning here in the UK today. I have back-to-back meetings and calls today, and tonight I'm going to go and see my boyfriend. It's Friday night and haven't seen him in a couple of weeks, so looking forward to that as well. But I wanted to jump on and actually talk a little bit more about the group program that I announced on Wednesday. So it's called the One Step Outside the 9 to 5 program, and I'm going to talk all about it today, and then tomorrow I'll be back in the group. I'm collecting the questions that I've received so far, and hopefully I'll answer any remaining questions or possible kind of fears, I guess, that are coming up, and you know, trying to work out if this could be the right thing for you, the right time for you, and so on. So hopefully I'll be covering all your questions and concerns over the coming days, and you know, if we find that it is the right thing for you, then I'd love to see you in this program. So it's called One Step Outside the 9 to 5. It's a 6-month program. I think this is a great period of time. It's the time period I like to work with individual clients. It's long enough to really get the results that you want, to really make significant progress and move forwards. But it's also short enough to keep you focused, holding you accountable, keeping that motivation going. And of course, the benefit of a program like this is also that you have that structure and accountability. So 6 months, really great time period, I think. And of course, the work won't end there. Certainly, you'll have the opportunity to continue in the program to get ongoing support afterwards. You can always upgrade to one-on-one coaching with me. And I also have some other offers, for example, a face-to-face VOP day when we sort of bash out your entire strategy together in a session and can really take things further. But that's later on. So we're talking about this 6-month program for now. It starts on Friday, the 16th of February. So this is now sort of a pre-registration early bird period for you guys. I wanted to offer this to people in this group. I've also, actually today I'm sending out a broader email to my list. So all of you who've been in my community for a while, who have been hopefully inspired and learning and thinking and reflecting and working on all these different things, and maybe getting to the point where you feel confident enough to make 2018 the year when you take a bit of a risk, go for that sort of big goal that you've had in the back of your mind for a while and perhaps have been holding back. And so we're going to try this year to have a real go of it. So 6-month program. And in terms of concrete results that you can expect, one of the big ones for me is clarity. And I see it again and again, and I talk about it a lot. Clarity on what it is you want. And I know this is such a big barrier. In fact, I talked about it yesterday in the video on blocks and obstacles that could be stopping you from moving forwards in general. But having that clarity on what it is you want is surprisingly difficult. So coming away from the program with an understanding of sort of the bigger picture, you know, I'm always talking about reimagining success and so on, but the bigger picture of what you want in life, and then concretely also what you want in your business. So clarity being one of the important pieces. Another more sort of mindset area, I suppose, is confidence. So I'm always talking about the fears and the concerns that we have, leaving behind something that's so familiar and going into the unknown. And so confidence is something that will really come both from the concrete skills, frameworks and so on that we'll work through, but also just from the act of doing. I always find that taking action is what creates momentum. You actually get the confidence to do what it is you want to, and you get the motivation. So confidence is a key one there as well. More concretely, so that sort of clarity and confidence, you'll also come away with an actual business idea. You may have a lot of different ideas at the moment. You may have one that you think is going to work, and you may have none at all. But we'll help you really get a viable business idea that we've validated, and a concrete business model to support that as well. So business plan and idea, but also then a strategy and an action plan to actually take that sort of theoretical business on paper and start to test it, start to implement it, and start to get it out there. And implementation is a really key word. So this is not just sort of a, you know, let's get inspired and do some fluffy mindset stuff. This is incredibly practical. So lots of practical tools and techniques to anchor these strategies and ideas into your day-to-day routine to really set you up for success, both within the program, but also then going forwards as you leave. And then finally, we're actually going to really begin to dig into more sort of sophisticated strategies, I guess, to get that business off the ground and to really start building your credibility and marketing and sales and so on. So, you know, I say one step outside the 9 to 5. It's a pretty big step on many small steps, but the idea is really to get massive results, but still managing that risk and managing your fears and so on. So that's a little bit on the results that you can expect. In terms of sort of the logistics of the program, as I said, it's 6 months, so it's going to be 6 modules. What you get in the program will be live mastermind calls, I'm calling them. So there'll be a teaching element to this, but there'll also be an opportunity to have coaching and any questions and discussion as well in the group. I'm expecting this, and I'm keeping the group, in fact, intentionally small. I want to make sure that I can really support you guys almost as I would in an individual coaching session. And so these calls are going to be fortnightly. And they're going to be in a small setting, of course, completely confidential, and I expect a very supportive group of people as well. So I will try to schedule those based on who signs up now in a time zone that works for you. But the live calls will also be available in recordings for you to listen to afterwards, should you miss them now and then. So the second thing is also a membership site with a library of all the resources that I've collected and created, plus lots of new things now this year as well that will help you to move forwards. So it's a membership site, and within each module you have video trainings, audio trainings, worksheets. You'll have access actually to all the things that I'm doing sort of in the broader network as well. So any webinars, any kind of opt-ins, lead magnets, all these things, sort of PDF exercises, videos, all of that will be in there in one place. So you'll have what we used to call in the corporate world a one-stop shop with all those things that you could possibly need. And also, because this is the first time I'm running it, if there are things that you feel you're getting stuck on or you'd like a bit more on, I'll be happy to create additional materials as we go. So hoping to sort of co-create additional refinements of the program as well as we go. I'm also planning on having a little Facebook group. Again, it's going to be a small group, but it will be in a more intimate setting than this larger group. I hope that means that you'll feel very comfortable with being completely open. I may do some additional live kind of trainings in there as well on some more concrete topics. And of course, I'll be in there to make sure that you have access to any kind of support you need, and you have any questions, and I'm sure the group will help each other as well. Plus, you will have the opportunity to upgrade to get one-on-one support with me if you feel that's needed. But I'm confident that the program is set up in a way that you'll be getting everything that you need. So in terms of what we're going to cover, as I said, there are 6 modules, and I'll just talk you through these a little bit. I'm going to link to the program again so you can read about them, but I wanted to talk a little bit more about what each one covers. So module 1 is the vision. And again, starting with getting you that clarity on what it is you want from a big picture. And I know it may feel like a bit of a detour, and you might want to dive straight into coming up with your business idea, your business plan, and so on. But it's really to lay that groundwork, get the foundation in place, and also to sort of raise your awareness of the different things that are going on in your life, where you are today, where there are some discrepancies with where you want to be. And I know I talk to a lot of you, and I hear from you that there are a lot of things going in your life potentially, and you may feel that you've been focusing too much on work and business, perhaps to the detriment of your health. You know, sometimes we've deprioritized family relationships or romance, or there may be some kind of imbalance in there. So I'm all about, as you know, hopefully by now, reimagining success in a broader sense. And I want to make sure that when we're setting up this kind of escape plan, if you want, from the 9 to 5, that we're considering all those different areas and not just kind of getting too caught up in the business and work, because that risks that we'll end up with something that isn't then bringing us kind of the fulfillment and the happiness that I think ultimately we want. So the first module, you'll be able to work through each module at your own pace, as I said, and there'll be all sorts of videos and audios and worksheets in each module, and you can fit this around then all your other priorities in life. Of course, I would recommend that you block your calendar. An hour or 2 a week, I'm going to say, would be ideal. Of course, the more time you have to actually implement these things, the more you'll get out of it. But certainly, you know, an hour a week will already help you to begin to work through the materials and see some great results. So that's module 1, the bigger picture of the vision for what it is you want out of your business and out of life. A big ask. And module 2 is mindset. So again, talk about this all the time, but so important. We're going to be confronting those terrible demons, the fears, the concerns, and really working through those, both from sort of the more conceptual place of mindset and so on, but also beginning to look at what is the worst case scenario, what kind of backup plans do you have in place? Do you need a safety net? What kind of savings you need? All these things to make you feel more comfortable. Because otherwise, if you rush head first into some big plan, and later on you run out of money or you haven't thought things through properly, then probably you'll abandon those, and unfortunately you won't get the results that you want. So that's module 2. Module 3 is going to be then getting into the meat of the business proposition. So as I said, narrowing down your options. If you have a lot of ideas, considering if it's going to be a business model of, freelancing, consulting, and maybe you have a product that you'd like to create, and really digging into then the value proposition, the ideal clients, the revenue streams, the cost structure, and all those things. So getting a really robust business strategy together. Module 4 then is the planning. Not so sexy, but very important. So it's sort of bridging the gap between the strategy and then the implementation. Set some really concrete goals, milestones. We have, of course, the 6-month period as a start, but then also going forwards to make sure that you continue, because this is hopefully going to be something you're in for the long haul, and something that you'll build over the coming months and years. So really getting those milestones in place, getting clear action steps, all those things that we talked about in terms of saving money and so on, but also related to the business in terms of how you can take consistent action every day to reach those goals. And then we get into the implementation phase. So of course you can have been already, and you should be already, starting to action some of these things early on, but really to make sure that we're not just leaving this as theory or as an idea, but actually doing something about it. And module 5 is going to help you set you up for success in your day-to-day life. So I'm all about dreaming big and being people call me a dreamer and so on, but also being incredibly practical and anchoring that dream in our day-to-day routine. So, there's all sorts of tools in terms of time management and blocking your calendar, making sure you're prioritizing self-care, but lots of really important tools and techniques to really anchor that strategy in a way that works for you individually, to really think about how your week is structured and how you can best make sure that you're taking that consistent action again. And then the final, module 6, is really taking all this that we've done and sort of setting it off to sail off into the distance, but while you're steering it, of course. So we're going to be looking at some more concrete ways to really get your business off the ground, get your name out there, and start to sort of build that into something that could be growing and become more sustainable, and potentially even replace your full-time income if you wanted to in the future. So that'll be about building both your personal brand and your professional brand, and building your credibility in a potentially new space, and getting that awareness and exposure of who you are and what you do and what value you can bring. And also marketing techniques and sales to really start getting you those clients, customers that you want, and to start, building that business. So that, in a nutshell, is the program. I've covered a little bit about the results you can expect, how the sort of program is structured in itself, and then also the 6 different modules. This week, as I said, is the pre-registration for my community, so that closes on Sunday. So if you are interested in this, and do take a look at the couple of videos I've been doing the last few days, have a look on the page. I'm linking to that below. And if you have any questions at all, then please comment on the video. I'll pick these up even if you're watching the recording later, and I'll come back, as I said, tomorrow, Saturday, with answers to some of those questions, and hopefully cover any topics that I haven't raised so far. If you're still sort of umming and ahhing, just not sure if this is the right thing for you, then do book a call with me. If we find we can't get that in over the next couple of days, then of course I'll be happy to extend the early bird pricing to you, to make sure that you get that call in the diary. But it's a great way to ask any questions you have. I'm super responsive on email. You can message me here on Facebook, whatever communication method you want to use, but I'm here to answer all your questions. I'd love for this to be something that you jump on now and take action in 2018, and I want to make sure that you have all the information you need in order to make a decision. So again, I'm so excited about this program. I think it's going to be a fantastic alternative. If you have been considering coaching in the past and you've been a bit concerned about the investment required, this is a really great, affordable alternative. And I think it's going to be, almost as good as one-on-one coaching in terms of the support you'll get. It won't be 100% tailored in the way that I can do, of course, in the one-on-one setting. But certainly, as I said, because I'm keeping the group small, there'll be lots of support from me. It's the first time I run it, so I'll make sure that you're moving through and getting what you want from the program. So I'll link to the program, I'll link to the call. If you have any questions, please do give me a buzz on your chosen social network or channel, and I look forward to seeing you again in the group. Happy Friday, everybody, and I hope you've got some nice, relaxing plans for the weekend. See you soon.